We have a Ford Ranchero. She's been sitting for a long time, probably about 40 years. Around there, the tailgate's rusted out because it's been left down. She has a 302 in there, I believe. I checked it out yesterday before we bought it. Let's go around here and try to... There we go. The hood opens. The air cleaner's gone. Little 302 in there. Looks like someone was working on the ignition. The points are just about gone and completely corroded. Sure all 4 drums are locked on this thing, so we're gonna try to skid her on the trailer, and that may take a minute. We had to run over some trees to get back in here to get it, and then we're gonna have to figure out how to back out of here without running stuff over. Onto the interior now. The interior is a mix of between cigarette smoke, black mold, rat pee and poo, and some other dead animal, probably a possum. Like, it's make your eyes water. We're gonna roll the windows down for her ride home, so hopefully some of that air's out of there by the time we get back to the shop. We have some antifreeze there. There's some high performance, I guess it has headers on it maybe, because there's some header gaskets there. There's a jack in here. There's a bunch of lug nuts for some aluminum wheels, which I'm sure was probably on it. There's the air cleaner. There's a knife. There's a sponge. And it looks like over there's getting a lot of moisture because the dash is rusted. This side ain't as bad. Let's go along to the back and see what we got. And that's what I was talking about. The tailgate's rusted out. Either that was the name of the car or someone's name. I can't read it. It's all rusted, but you can just kind of tap it and make holes in it. Well, I'm gonna load her up on the trailer and hopefully she comes out. So now we got her back to the shop. I've kind of cleaned some of this up. First thing to do is, as you can see that was already off before, is clean these points up because they're almost corroded in half. They're corroded together and everything else. We'll get them cleaned up. Hopefully the condenser's good. I finally got the top off of that. The pedal don't move. We'll try to work on that. The oil in here, which is really surprising because it's set for 40 years, looks brand new. Still got the golden color to it. It's not black. It's got more than enough oil in it. So we're just gonna run that in there. Guess we better check the transmission fluid before we start cranking on her too. The motor is a little bit sticky. I'll show you guys in a second. She's not locked up. She's set out there in the pine needles and weeds forever. Oh. Well, there's not much in the way of trans fluid. It don't, well, maybe. Nah, that's kind of more like a grease than a fluid at this moment. We'll go get some transmission fluid and put in there. The doors have been open for like 3 days or 4 days now because it smells so bad in there. Like, this is the worst smelling car I've got. I'm not sure if it's from the moisture being in there, or if something crawled in there and died, or it's the mixture of the cigarette smoke and maybe that antifreeze. I don't know. It just smells terrible. It still does. It'll burn your eyes when you get in there. Gonna go ahead, put you guys on the tripod, throw this battery on here, see what the starter does, spray that PV blaster down through the carburetor, let it set in the valves, kind of get it in there, and then we'll start cleaning them points. Hopefully the starter works. Then we'll throw some trans fluid in it and really try to get her running. The key's in the ignition, luckily. We got one battery cable. There's the other one. Try not to put her in backwards. Now I'm gonna go see if the starter works, but we'll spray some of this down there first. Throttle stuck. She may smoke a little bit when we first start her up. Either we lost connection here, either that, or them are fairly tight. There we go. Be a little rough on that screwdriver though. She cranks. We have crankage, maybe the key works. She turns over, the key works now. It ain't one to crank over real good. The throttle linkage is a little sticky. Now the points file makes this a lot easier. I always just end up using a piece of sandpaper because I always lose them. Ain't worth trying to keep up with them. Hold down on this side, it's completely buried. There's something wrong with the cap. Gotta be. Ain't locking down. Not to say that's the wrong cap for it, but I think it's just warped. Well, this side don't get to be clamped down. Just in case it backfires, you want to get a little bit on the carburetor and down behind so it catches on fire. Come on, old car. Fire up on the first try. Come on. Better put her in park. She wants to run. There we go. I think this time it'll fire. He's trying. Well, there's half our problem. Are all of them chewed like that? We're down one plug wire. Right there we have the performance delete package where we delete that cylinder, better fuel economy. We're gonna go ahead and replace this one. That'll help us start her up, baby. And we gotta get that PB blaster cycled out of there. I'm sure the spark plugs are probably terrible, but someone put these wires on it These look to be about late 80s to 90s. I'd say more or less the 90s. Which I think someone tried getting her running and was gonna maybe put her back on the road because they put wires on it looks like. And maybe they couldn't get the points to work right. Or something like that, because they changed the oil in it. The oil looks, well, new. It's never been ran, I don't think. But I'm gonna go replace that one. We'll find one. It ain't gonna match, but we'll find something to put in there. She's a runner. She don't sound too bad. And so far it ain't smoking a lick. It does smell fairly terrible, but that's the PB blaster. Ooh, it sounds good. Time to fire her up and see what we get. It's never a good sign when your transmission's smoking, but we're gonna ignore that for now because it works. That's kind of terrifying. She's probably still low on fluid. What fluid? That's what we should be asking, because there's none. A gallon later, maybe. Fill her up again. So the goal is not to crash. We got the hood closed and we're gonna back it up and try to back it around there. We got a little fire going there because we had some brush in the way. And back it up and get it in front of the shop so we can get the garden hose to it, because the garden hose is only 50 feet. We may be able to get to it there, but we're gonna try to get it in front of the shop. We'll clean the bed out, wash her off and see what she looks like underneath this. And then we'll see if we can get the brakes working maybe. So I gotta say, it looks a lot better, but it ain't perfect. This stuff, even with the 0% nozzle, it will not come off. It's probably stained there and stained into the paint. Might put some bleach on it later and try to get that off. Or maybe just scrub on it a little bit. Even here where I scrubbed, it didn't come off. I'm gonna get the other side of the car now and see what she looks like all painted. Well, paint cleaned. That tire's flat again, so I have to put more air in it. It don't hold air but for probably 35-40 minutes. But surprisingly, with this thing sitting in the pine needles, the bed looks to be pretty solid. No rust in it. The tailgate's the only thing that is terrible. Floor pans seem to be good. But I'm gonna go ahead, clean that up, get back with you guys, and then we're gonna try to drive it somewhere maybe. Or at least around a little bit. Thermostat's not open yet. Yeah, I didn't want that. Accelerator pump starting to not leak now. Put that back on there. It looks like we got a runner. Looks like it's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, I mean Wednesday or so, we should have a video on the Cuda up. I know you guys are waiting on that, and if you guys like this type of content, like the Cuda videos, the restoration videos, or the Willet runs, we have a lot more of that coming to this channel. And sorry it took so long to get a video this time. Been real busy, and sometimes it's hard to find these Willet runs. We got some that are older coming, and well, we ran out of gas. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.